Okay, so this is going to my iCloud now. We have the Kaizen. What is Kaizen? And it will state to us, I guess, the definition that they host for it. Kaizen is a strategy that helps you maintain your current lifestyle in an event of chronic illness, premature death, and your ability to efficiencies to protect your how it works.
Hmm.
Premiums are jointly funded by bank financing participants by employees. This is a participation of one individual, it could be, or is usually multiples. You're,
Usually one. It's usually the employer will take it, and but if you have a number of key men or key women working there, I guess I should say now, they may go ahead and make contributions to their retirement plan, either separate or in addition to their 401k. So it allows them to put more money away than they normally would in a tax favored way. As you know, IULs are tax favored. And they're actually borrowing, and this is the way it works for the first 5 years. The person is putting in 50% of the net premiums. The bank is putting in the other 50%. In year 6, there's no more contribution for the employer. The bank puts in year 6 through 10, so those 5 years. And then in about the 15th or 16th year, there's plenty enough money to go back into the IUL itself, pull the money out, pay the bank off, and have a fully paid up IUL plan that's now building retirement funds for you. So you're getting a whole lot more money in faster than you would if you did it on your own. And there's about a 2-point arbitrage on that, which in other words, the money that you're borrowing and investing, you're actually using OPM to get a 2% spread on other people's money. So that's where it comes in. It's great for the bank because, as you know, life insurance, particularly legal reserve life insurance companies like LSW, are some of the safest bets in the world.
so
And
Kaizen is the strategy that helps you maintain your current lifestyle with an index life insurance policy that provides a death benefit protection, living benefits in the event of a serious illness, premature, so on and so on. And then what your idea is beyond the life insurance portion is would you consider this a retirement plan or a wealth plan?
yes,
Both.
I would consider it a retirement plan, and Cornell's right, it's both. Um, yeah, but since it takes about 16 years for this, 15 to 16 years for this plan to really pay off, you have to look at it as a long-term play. So it's
Yeah.
not something that, yeah, you could pay. By the way, you can pay off the bank early if you wanted to, if that were needed. And so, but remember, with the LSW, you have those accelerated benefits. So not only do you get life insurance, um, let me write this down, and then I'm going to call Janice very quickly
Go
because
ahead, buddy.
it's not coming through. I'll be right back with you. If you and Cornell want to start, that's fine. But
All right, let me talk with Cornell a little bit.
because Cornell knows the Kaizen plan very well.
Okay, good. Cornell, I see that National Life is not the only one that provides this. Do we have Alien? What is it?
Allianz.
Allianz, yeah, Allianz.
I believe we have them.
Okay,
but
so
we're not licensed with them.
I have both. Hold on. I have both, which is good for us. But you find that the LSW product works better for this particular situation?
It's just the first one that we started with.
Oh, got it. So I'm going to, well, we have both, so which is good for us to know. So this plan is, but then I guess it would be the IMO has to structure it with Allianz. Sorry, guys, I can't say it's not Allianz. Or
Yeah,
once we have Allianz, we already have it. Allianz. Once we have that company, see, what I'm confused about is this isn't a big deal. It's just me learning from you guys. But Allianz, if they're with our IMO, which they are, then that means that they automatically offer it or no?
no,
Okay.
because there are LSW brokers and I believe Allianz brokers that do not have access because this is an exclusive deal with a funding company, and that funding company works with different IMOs because, as you can imagine, this is a pretty nice, sweet program for certain IMOs to have. So there's all kinds of training requirements and things from IMOs.
Okay.
So not every IMO is just automatically going to get it.
This is like that when you mentioned it, it's like something that's hidden from the company itself, which is blowing me away. That what I'm finding, as you guys know, is I'm kind of the word innovative, I'm the guy that really goes out there and does these things with people like you and kind of finds the hidden trades that are inside these businesses. You know, creating all the sales that I have, John, just through what we have, you guys would be structured in a way where you'd earn a fine income just through that too, as you may do through your own IMOs. But with this added on, this is just a bonus, and it should be out there. And I'm just, confused on why people that own these companies don't put them out there if they know that they have them and it's structured within their own companies. It's just strange to me to own a company and not present all details to your reps, But anyway, you guys brought it out. I'm happy. Thank you for leading me to this because I would have never known it was there. However, it is there. We have it. So I want to start with saying thank you for being on here. I don't see your girl on here yet, John, so I don't think she's here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I sent it to her again. So at the actual text that she sent me, so it should have gone to her.
All right. So some of the questions, Cornell, that I told John that I'm getting out of you guys so I can get everything answered. She's on now, John.
Oh, okay, great. Hey, Janice.
Hi.
So
okay, we're just getting started, so this is neat. Yes.
So, John, I don't know how to lead this because it's kind of your guys' gig. So all I am is the IMO with what you're looking for. At the end of the day, I know everybody's interested in contract levels. I don't know what else you guys are interested in doing here. So it's kind of difficult for me to wonder what else is there that you may need. Is this it? If it's it, then it's okay too. But I think there may be some, I don't know if I'm going to have, I want to have trouble getting you guys leads. I need to know, do you guys need do you need resources to do this on? Do you need the resources that I have and leads also? Or do you go out and find your own people to do this with?
Yeah, we do need the leads. Here's how we have our business structured. Cornell is heading up all senior market final expense. He's the man over there. He has all kinds of contracts. But that is both in-home presentations. It's also telesales, primarily to seniors. There are a couple of things that might appeal more generally, like the dental and accident policy, but for the most part, it's Medicare Supps, Medicare Advantage, final expense, and that's Cornell's baby. He knows that market very well. He was the #1 agent in Middle Tennessee. This guy knows his stuff. He's a great leader, and I just like Cornell a lot, and I think you will too. Janice was a big recruiter for a competitive IMO, competitor IMO, with LSW. And the reason I went with Janice, even though I had to take a little contract hit, was simply because they were supposed to provide us with about, I think it was 20 Kaizen leads a month or some number like that. I'm going to tell you, if you have 20 Kaizen leads a month, you're going to make a fortune in that business.
What presents a Kaizen lead, though? So there is a Kaizen lead then, John. Okay, that's great to know. But then I can slide that in there. Or is a Kaizen, you're considering, is a mortgage protection a Kaizen lead? It could be, I guess.
Absolutely. It could be depending on who they are. And one of the reasons that I wanted to chat with you, because first of all, I saw you on LinkedIn, about $10,000, $20,000 a week. That's a lot of money. But second of all, if we can go in with LSW as the mortgage protection,
yes,
both the IUL for early payoff or even the term if they can't afford it. That gives us an opportunity. We're going to run into a business owner occasionally. And I mean, I've been doing mortgage protection a long, long time, and I can tell you, I've run into some very, very interesting, business owners over time. And, you know, it might be better for them to consider a Kaizen plan than it would be. And the difference is they're putting in $25,000 a year versus maybe $400 a month. And so,
John, since I have, I'm the largest annuity salesman I know, that I personally know, and I know a lot of people, John, and I'm, it's like 28 last year. I try to hit 30 every year. So what if I'm sitting on 600 grand right now with a gentleman that was just sitting in his bank account? He lost half of that due to market volatility. I showed him how to double his money in a theme product, which I'll share with you guys. If you don't have a theme, you got to take a look at what their numbers are capable of doing for index products. Now, I'm wondering if I put these two side by side and say, hey, look at this Kaizen program compared to this Athene, which will double his money in 10 years by the previous 10 to 20 year history that they show. Is he going to make more money? I guess we'd have to do an illustration to find that out.
Well, the part of the Kaizen appeal is that it's life insurance. So it might have fewer dollars, but they're tax free. But another thing is, if you put $25,000 into an annuity and you die a year later, you may have $26,000. With our plan, you'd have maybe $1 million. So it's a self-completing retirement plan, just like all IULs. You can stack an IUL up to an indexed annuity. They use the exact same chassis with most companies. But the difference is you've got that life insurance wrapper. Of course, there's a mortality drag. But your question is, at the end of the day, do the taxes outweigh what the cost of insurance is? And with the LSW, not only do you have life insurance, but you also have the living benefits. So you can imagine if that business owner put all of his money into an annuity and had a heart attack and couldn't work the next day, well, he can accelerate that money on LSW, but he's going to have a penalty withdrawal on his annuity. So I just think that they're different animals. They do different things. I'm not disagreeing with that.
If this is possible, I have the people that are in questioning, they're kind of thinking about or sitting on this right now. It's large sums of money. I got one huge, enormous business owner. This guy's a son of a gun to work with, John, but you got that tonality, that thing that he may, you're a little older than me, John, and he may appreciate that through wisdom. I come in as a young man. Some people don't respect me in a sense where they think I'm just there to make the sale. If they're too large of a business owner, millions and millions of dollars. So sometimes I lose that due to that, not having enough gray hairs, I guess, due to some people's want. And that's okay, because that's just a part of the game. But, there are people I can have you sit with right now to explain this to. And I could set all that up. I did that even for my company here. Before I was able to sell annuities, I wasn't contracted. I was the only guy in the history of One Life that ever set 3 annuities up for $1 million earned in one day through 3 annuities. So when I set things up, they're very solid, and I can do this because I'm never going to learn this, John, without seeing it done, man. I could do it as many times through the books and through webinars as I want to, but I got to see it live. So let's get down to the nitty gritty. We know that we have this product, guys, so it's here, all right? Nobody has to be in fear of that. It's here. Contract levels is what I need to discuss with John still, because I am in the process. I took a hit just like John did to go to Janus, and my LSW was a part of that. What I'm in the process of doing is now leaving the organization that was supposed to help me in many different ways, as you guys know, and they didn't come through. So I am walking away with more than I had before, though. So when I get my contract level up, I'm trying to get 15 points, John. So I'll just be honest to what I got, and we'll discuss it from there. But I went around, guys, while waiting for this meeting to happen, and I contacted several companies who claimed that they had the Kaizen. Nobody's really sure sometimes. And, the street level on this stuff is, it's 90% and lower, to be honest with you. And I'm not trying to say that I'm doing that to you guys, but I'm doing my best to get the highest levels possible, guys. I can only go so far. LSW is new to innovative insurance brokers due to the fact I requested it because I knew what it was capable of doing from another IMO I was at, and I knew I wanted it for mortgage protection. But my mortgage protection leads, guys, I promise you this, you're not going to have a problem getting in the house. You can get in the house. It's up to you from that point. You will get in homes. Believe me, you'll get in a lot of homes. But you won't and the fact is that I have those other leads, John, that are that were carried around in a briefcase at a lower cost too, you know. So at the end of the day, there's multiple resources. The leads that are what they are. So if somebody requests territory, Cornell wants mortgage protection leads in a territory through us. They are $47 a pop, but he's going to make it back just through mortgage protection sales. Here's the fear. You guys are connected to another IMO, right? You have your own system and everything like that when it comes to selling other products. How am I reinsured that if, you know, I'm okay with you guys running into some deals that go through some other carriers occasionally, but I can't have these resources going out there when they're being sold through other carriers and I'm not making anything on them. So I'm trying to figure out, you know, John, how do we fix that?
You know, that's one of the issues that every IMO faces, because when I ran our mortgage protection shop here in Atlanta, my guys were on at least 100% contracts, and it can happen. I mean, I watched, one of the reasons I lost my Americo appointment was because my agents rolled the business within the 14-month period. They rolled it to another carrier. And they weren't my direct agents, but they were one of my partner's agents, and it was a real problem. And it took me about 10 years to get my Americo contract back. They didn't fire me, but they just suspended my contract until all that money was paid back through our renewals. And so it happens. The thing about it is,
John, you have Mutual of Omaha?
I do not have Mutual of Omaha. Well, I do, but I have so many Mutual of Omaha contracts, I don't even know what my numbers are, because they just give you a number. You can have 10 of them.
Guys, the bottom line is, when I'm doing this, I don't sell term. I either sell the Prosperity at the final arrangement or Mutual of Omaha. If it comes down to the last nitty gritty, I can't get them the higher numbers within the index products due to health. Then I'll go to the final expense arrangements, as you know. And then the Mutual of Omaha has the GUL, which can be used too in comparative prices. But there's also, are you guys with Allianz too at all? Anybody?
Yes. Uh-huh.
All right. So what I'm trying to figure out is I have all the resources that anybody could ever ask for. I got larger organizations now coming to me for these resources too, because they're seeing the numbers. But at the end of the day, I have what you guys need. The program's here. The leads are here. I have to figure out what we can make an agreement of some sort to, even if I got paid, John, a cut of what was sold outside of the sale. I'd be okay with that too, but that would have to be something to be, you know, very quiet about. But I can help you also build the organization too, guys. I'm right now, I probably have, this is no lie, I just looked at it. There's well over 600 resumes that have to go, somebody's got to look at them. And I'm only able to send out email blasts to these people to introduce them to the Saturday morning meetings. And then I do one on Wednesdays, and sometimes there's another one. Wednesday meetings are more advanced meetings for sales. And then what I was going to do, John, is structure a new rep to introducing the organization and the opportunity. So I was going to pick a day and time to do that, and then get everybody that's coming to me through social media and through the ZipRecruiter, which ZipRecruiter is like, you know, that's what I can give to you guys. So you guys can build the organization too. Other than that, contract levels right now is what I'm trying to do, John, is I'm trying to get that up. So I don't have a number right now, but per se, I can just tell you this, that anytime I work on something and they're in threat of me leaving, I always get what I want. So, you know, I made a bad move losing what contract level I had before to do what the hell I did, and I'm getting out of that. So it's just about moving the contract, and that's it. So they're in the process of working on that, and that's all I'm waiting for is to see what the number comes back at. So if it's my old number, you won't have to worry about the contracts with your. You may be at the old contract level you were at before. If I can get the number that I used to be at, so then from here, like I said, John, I just need to know, guys, how do we fix the flat? The flat is this: you guys get the lead. It's even if it's the $3 leads, which are basically still $47 leads to me. And you go out, you sell it, but you don't use the LSW product. I'm stuck without an income from leads that I could have made income from. So I'm just asking you guys, how do we fix that?
Okay, right now, what are you using when you go in and do mortgage protection? What is your first carrier?
Go-to is the IUL with LSW.
Okay. Well, if you're writing that, can you really move? Don't you have your 6-month wait before you can move?
I would have to, no, not contract level. I'm not moving anywhere. I'm staying at the same organization. I'm just contract level.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I misunderstood you. I thought you were moving.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Inside the format that we have, I'm moving. I'm coming out. I'm going on my own again.
Oh, okay. I've got you. So you go in and you offer the LSW IUL as your primary carrier. And then if they can't afford that, what do you drop to? The Mutual of Omaha?
Most times, yes.
Yeah, they're a great company. Easy issue.
If I've not that, then I have the Prosperity, and then worst case scenario is Gerber. But I have CFG too, and what was another one I have too that's graded. But you know, I usually end up selling it. They've been very, I'm going to tell you guys, I don't know if you've sold it lately, but they had a meeting recently at LSW, and they have been sticklers on putting these IULs through. They're really, really asking a lot. People that they weren't doing blood work on before are now having to do blood work, and it's becoming an epidemic almost to get paid. I'm owed $20-something thousand from this company from 2 months ago. And still waiting on policies. The problem I have with the company, John, now is the fact is that the wait period is so long that if another rep comes in, I probably lose 25, 30 grand a year waiting on LSW to go through. So, you know, it's not my writing. It's just the fact is they're so stickler on the product, just the index product anyway. I don't know. The Kaizen's a whole different system. So I assume even with the Kaizen, that we're looking for healthy people too.
Well, yeah, and that's about a 5 or 6 month wait on Kaizen.
You already know. You're already prepared for that then.
Yeah, because they have, not only do they have to be underwritten, the financing has to be there, and they do that in tranches. So they could actually be at the end of a tranche that's already taken care of, and they would have to wait till the next one, which might be next quarter, 3 or 4 months, or it might be as much as 6 months. So
what is a tranche?
A tranche is basically a boatload of money that they borrow and move all at the same time. Okay. So they don't fund the individual policy. They will have 20 policies in front of them, and they'll say we need 15 million, and they will borrow the 15 million all at once instead of trying to borrow them piecemeal. They get better rates doing that. Okay,
understood. So advancing forward, we'd have to, just get contract levels straightened out. I would assume I don't know, it could happen today, but I'm just going to tell you guys I need probably another week to work this out. Nobody's in Orlando, but they're having a 3-day event in Orlando that everybody's welcome to anyway. And I have to be at that, obviously, for the next 3 days, Monday through Wednesday. And everything else I'm doing. So that's going to take some time. If I had just requested this contract level move last week, so I'm just waiting on that, and that's it. And I can't get a hold of anybody because they're all preparing for this thing going Monday through Wednesday, so it's making it difficult on me. But hypothetically, John, if I come back and I just prefer, are we in an open discussion here, or am I discussing things with each individual, or who's the head of this pack here? Who's the upline? John, are you the head?
We're all different.
Okay.
Actually, I looked to Cornell for answers on final expense, simply because I really don't like that market much, and it's the senior market is you're almost all in. If you're doing Medicare supplements and final expense and everything, that's great because that's an umbrella that you can do. But it's really hard to do something else other than senior markets. You can do individual policies, but if you're a really good senior market person like Cornell is, he is really into that market. You don't get to be number one in Middle Tennessee without being in that market.
I'll tell you what, my idea behind that is Cornell's that good at that. He's just going to double his numbers if he does MP. He's just going to make a hell of a lot more. My average sale is $300 to $3,000 a month in premium, and that's average. And that average happens week in and week out. Monday through Wednesday is all I do it in. And I set it up on Saturday, as you've seen me do, John. I think you've been on a couple of the webinars. And that's it. And Cornell could blend it. Cornell could easily take a few leads and mix that into his system.
Sure.
I hear what you're saying, because he can't necessarily. Does Cornell need final expense leads?
Well, Cornell can speak for himself. I don't know. Cornell, are you there?
Well, you can always use leads. So that
Cornell, these leads have been. Let me just explain, and I got your answer. So the answer is yes. Mm-hmm. And I'm just going to tell you that I've never, ever in my lifetime felt so strongly about lead systems as I do here. And I've been doing this for it's almost 10 years now. So I've been in many IMOs and helped create a lot of things. And I helped this lead program out in an effective way where I told the guys, look, how easy would it be to make money if we had to train less, make more? That'd be really nice for all of us. So the system's really cool for now, where it's just a lead is $15. But when you call it Cornell, it's under 24 hours sometimes, but it's mostly maxed out at 24 hours old. But she's going to know your first name, and she's going to know, Mrs. Jones is going to know why you're calling. And these leads have been more effective, and this is why they're gaining traction, John and Cornell and Janice, because of these leads. Because the same people that couldn't sell anything are now in-home selling stuff. And the next problem is just holding on to what they sell, because these new reps are just not grinding the stuff in. But that's due to just not having training. So new reps are getting into the field in week one and getting out there and making $1,000 to $5,000, which I have never seen ever in my entire career that happen on such a high level, really. So for a veteran like you, Cornell, when you call, the only thing you're going to have to do is decide how much you want to bank out of the person that you're selling to, meaning how much premium you're able to pull. Right. And John, that's what I've been selling on lately, which is that training has, and I got it all over my GroupMe and Facebook, people thanking me up and down because their premiums have gone from the final expense arrangements from $30 to $80 a month up to $100 and $300 a month, and effectively using the index products for final expense too,
That's something that I would look at just to. Now, how are these leads distributed? You buy the leads, they send them to you on an Excel spreadsheet. You have a system that you have to log into.
It comes with the recording and the spreadsheet. So
this is a telemarketing lead?
Yes.
Okay.
Now I have 6 different resources, Cornell, all ranging in different prices, and then there's still direct mail too. So there's all kinds of different lead resources. I believe there's $4 final expense lead, $6, there's $11, there's $15, and it's set up that way due to the fact that if your team all uses the $15 lead resources, you're probably going to tap it out because they only have so many people dialing. this company was actually going to give us the leads at a cheaper cost. And we told them to hold the cost where it's at, keep it up so the data comes back. But we want better data from people. We want more, we want higher incomes at these homes. When Cornell goes out with a final expense lead from me, he's not going into places that they're trying to pay with their EBT card. However, you're still going to run into that, Cornell, but just not like when I was at Lincoln Heritage. That's all I ran into was people that were just wanted to, use Social Security cards to pay. They didn't have bank accounts. It was a wreck. But
Right.
This is definite demographics are done. So you're walking into the best scenario, and that's how these guys are banking their money. They're really becoming more of a lead generating company, but at the cost they get it at too. Now, I'm sure that they have some leads that they're making money on, Cornell, but they're still not the company drawing out $30 a lead, which many organizations still do today for what should cost $15 or less. But we are working on the data. The data is important, and we want to keep that up, the demographics up, and meaning that when you walk into even a final expense home, that we got mom, dad, kids there, money coming in, or retirees that are together. And that's what we pride ourselves on, really, honestly. So it works, and it works very well, very, very well. I've seen income shoot up that weren't there before, so I know it has to deal with the leads. My training is something that's just extra for these people, and the people that do that and the lead resources quadrupled their money. I mean, I'm not kidding you guys. They have quadrupled their money. They were earning $25,000 a year. Now they're at $100,000 and above. So every system that I have works. And I know, John, as well as you do, that without training on this stuff and the right resources, we're all doomed. So I'm effectively just telling you guys that this is the right move. It's here. I got everything that you need. And I have other opportunities out there for us too. Like if you guys get on board, being the #1 annuity salesman at the company, that's not a big number that you can earn off of, but it's a couple extra points for you to put in your pocket due to your agent selling that too. If that's a scenario that they run into. I know that through my agents, there could be an extra $5,000 a month. And these were guys that were never selling indexed annuities before. So, and I just transfer that back into the company. So it all works out and evens out. But now what I'm trying to do, ladies and gentlemen, is get everybody out of the field who deserves to be. I see a squad here on this webinar right now who needs to get out of the field and start training people on how to do this stuff more so we can really build an organization. Maybe
Hi, Jason.
Hi.
This is Janice. I do have a question since you just mentioned that's one of the keys that I'm looking for is the training platform because I am looking to build a team. I've built a team before, and part of the problem was that the training that was promised was not really there, and it wasn't there on a consistent basis.
Yeah, right.
And most of the people that I deal with is like John. They're brokers. They have people that work for them. So I really want to know that this is actually going to work for them. If they do it, they get the training, they do it, they can go out and have the same results as long as they're putting the same effort into it. So personally, and I've been a trainer before. I'm former military. So personally, I would like to be able to see how you break down everything as far as how you use the index product to go into a home and do your 10,000 a week, or however often you do the 10,000.
Well, I'll tell you
because
what, I'm glad you brought this up because what I was planning on doing was buying a camera, getting permission from clients, and taking a 1-month trip through a lot of clients' homes and putting it all on film, and then actually creating a film DVD set through that by permission of the client to be able to film the scenarios. Or I was actually going to say that I could do a live day where people could punch into the webinars weekly, but I can't I'd have to have it. I don't know how to do that yet, so I'm kind of figuring that out. But look, everything that I just told you, Janice, you're going to get through me, basically. So 2 days a week, there's training. Okay.
Okay.
The Saturday ones kind of flip flop back and forth to a lot of questions being asked to me. Nobody's stumped me yet. I've always asked for the objection that stumps me. I give $100 to anybody that can stump me. Nobody's done it yet. So, and effectively it's working. I got people actually asking me now, Janice, from other organizations, like inside my own organization, that want to come onto my team. They want to leave their agency to come onto my team, but we're under the same umbrella. It's like, I'm getting hell for that, but it ain't me, so whatever I'm doing is working. You will get training, Janice, that will make you money, because I'm going to lay out what you just asked me to do. I will do specially for you, but with others on it. And I'll, from walking through my own door all the way to sitting down and treating Janice as she's the client. So if you could help me do something like that, put me in a scenario where you're going to run into, and I'll help you with that scenario. Janice, you're any age too, doesn't matter, smoker, non-smoker, meds, throw them at me. And there's also my wife who helps with the telephone appointment setting too. So every angle's covered, Janice, when it comes to this. In fact, I enjoy all this stuff's recorded. In fact, this is recorded. So all this stuff's recorded, so you guys can go back and look at it and review it, and and then my website, I'll have it all on the website too.
That sounds great.
You will get training that nobody else offers. Nobody has these strategies. There are some similar strategies. One of my guys who just came on board, Brian Daska, he purchased a strategy through a company that has DVD sets out there. They wrote books on this stuff. They were high-selling mortgage protection index guys, and all they did was create a website where they sell products on this. He said, Jason, everything that you teach us, I just paid a couple $100 for. And he said, you have everything that they're teaching plus more inside your systems, and they're every Saturday. And usually the second one I choose, Janice, per week, it's usually Wednesday evenings, though, for the more advanced training. So you'll be covered in every angle there, and then in the field, trying to find somebody that might have more education than you and put you in a position to go out with somebody if that's helpful too. Then the business building strategies that I have too will come into effect, and you'll be able to build an agency. But at the end of this thing, it's more like, look, I'm looking for people to want to join my agency too, guys. I don't know maybe it's contract levels, John, that's holding you where you're at. Maybe it's the fact that you sold Mutual of Omaha last week and you don't want to wait 6 months to get into a new IMO. But there's got to be some kind of strategy we can use to join the business even closer than just through LSW, don't you? Is that because are you guys all contracted with indexed annuities too? Like, do you have a theme, Equitrust, Fidelity, things like that?
Yeah, Allianz, and let me see. I think I've got. I'd have to look back, but I've got 4 or 5 annuity carriers. I don't think Mutual of Omaha is going to be a problem for me. Is it going to be a problem for you?
No, it's not going to be. It's not going to be a problem for me.
And does anybody have Gerber?
Yeah,
I don't
I've
have
got
Gerber.
Yeah, I have Gerber.
Do you have CFG?
Yeah, I got CFG.
Now, are these products able to be moved? If I can work out a better contract level to you, but have you guys sold them within the past 6 months is what I need to figure out. What companies haven't you sold that can be transferred if I can work out a better deal for all you?
Well, I personally, for me, I would like to see what John and Cornell would like to do, because we do, even though we do have our sort of own thing going, we do work together as a team. But I just personally speaking, I would think that the contract would play a huge part.
I mean, I'll just tell you this.
And I guess my question is too, is that some of my team, my goal is to be able to help people, to help their clients, and they get paid for it. So as far as me telling them who they can sell and what they can sell, I don't do that, because if they can make money someplace, I want them to be able to make money and be happy about it. I do know some of my people, they do have a problem with being captive, because they've been captive before, and it's been terrible where, a person will say one thing to get them in, and then somewhere down the line, 5 or 6 months down the line, the rules change. And so my thing is, if we're going to do business, and I'm very upfront and very, to the point. If we're going to do business, we're going to do business, and we're going to be consistent about that business. Now, if the insurance carrier changes something, there's nothing that we can do about that. But I'm just talking about because I understand what you're saying. People going out, getting your leads, getting your system, and using, selling for things. I don't agree with that. My thing is, if we're going to come with you, we got to it got to be guarantees on both sides.
Well, I've been doing this a long time, and my guarantee doesn't fall apart. I don't make any money if it did. So I don't have a way to deter from what I'm doing, Janice. I just can't do it. I won't do it to anybody. I know what it's like to be out there without this training, and without it, everybody's doomed. My training is among the best in the business. Here's Brian's on here right now. And Brian, I was telling these individuals about what you purchased online, and telling them how similar it was to my training, and they're getting it all for free. And someday, somehow, some way, guys, I will put this into a format that will be sold. That is my plan, is to generally consult this industry and go out and consult businesses and speaking and events and things like that. But for now, everybody's getting this for nothing. And all I ask is that you use it properly. Janice, Cornell, John, Brian, anybody else listening, that it's used in a respectful manner, that I'm supporting you in the training of your reps and yourselves, and that you take the leads and you do the right things by that. And if I don't get a cut from what's in there, then I got to end the deal, and that's it. So I'm willing to open up everything that I have with open arms. I just got to make sure that we work out a system that flows money my way, because some people want to fly people all over the place. Like Janice is okay, Joan, with her people going anywhere they want. Me, the other companies that are providing Janice's people with other systems, when they don't need it. All you ever need in a home is LSW, Mutual of Omaha, Gerber, and you'd be fine. You'd be able to sell the hell out of anything. You'd have everything. There's nothing you can't win over. Structurally, everything that you can beat in finance is taking people off what they're already on. I do that all day long. I take it, and Brian has witnessed me do it. Many people that go out with me, Janice, witnessed me take tens of thousands of dollars in life insurance off the table by getting people a lot of cash value for their needs today, and then replacing it with a policy that's using all those premiums, putting them together, and then structuring it in a better system that's through one carrier, not 10. So at the end of the day, here's what it comes down to, Janice. You're going to get every piece of training that you deserve and you need, to be honest with you, to make big numbers. You're going to learn how to sell mortgage protection at the highest levels possible and make it stick. Final expense, you'll make more money learning my final expense strategies and techniques than anywhere else. I've trained so hard on this, guys, by failure that I just my successes came a lot later. 5 years into the business, I was just like failure, jumping around, getting low contract levels. And then it came down to, what the hell? I'm a great salesman. Boom. I got it. Okay. I find the need. What's the need? I don't know. Everyone needs change in the house. Once I figured out a structured plan in going in, what to say, Brian can vouch for me. What I say gets people interested into my sales, Janice. And if you do the same thing, you're going to make a lot more money than you've ever imagined. But so is your team, too, because they're able to go to a place that's structured in a manner that's around the systems that I'm still using. I'm still in the field doing it with other reps, too. So I'm not like the guy that's training you that hasn't been in the field in 10 years. I'm the guy that's training you who just went out yesterday. And I'm training you on what I learned in the field. So everybody's going to get that. One day I'll be out of the field, Janice, but I'll have enough film.
Okay, that sounds great.
Now, Cornell and John, I know everybody wants to say, hey, high contract level this, high contract level that. Well, let's back up a second. If we're here on this webinar and somebody didn't give you what you needed somewhere else, or you didn't seek it out or find it yet, maybe you like me, maybe that's it. I don't know why we're here all together, but God bless it. I want to give you guys an opportunity, but I want the opportunity from you guys to be able to share with me, you and your team into the future, the knowledge that I present on a daily, weekly basis that I consume from being out in the field, and give it to your team and you on a weekly basis. Janice, John, Cornell, Brian knows I love speaking. I love doing these webinars. There's nothing pulling me away from these. I'm doing them on a regular basis every week, and that's just how it is. Now, setting up events and things like that, that's something down the line, so where the room is packed, and that's going to be up to us as a team. Getting the rooms packed at a boot camp events for the weekend at a hotel room somewhere is going to be up to all of us. But I do have the resources. I got the Kaizen. I got the LSW product. I got the leads. Lastly, I have to figure out contract level, and I think we can make a move. If everybody can give me a word up on this, say, hey, I'll bring you, Jason, if it's cool with you, it's cool with us, we're going to come over with LSW, Mutual of Omaha, and anything else that we can find, because there are more annuity companies that I have that I haven't shared yet. I have probably 26 annuity companies, to be honest with you. But if you don't have a theme, you guys really need to look into a theme. I have not found an annuity yet that has beat their system and beats their rates, and averaging at 6.8 to 8.6 on average for the last 10 and even 20-year periods. So people are literally doubling their money, and have been since I've been with the company. So that's all I'm asking, is that, we can't take the leads out and go, I got guys, because we're not, you're not tied into me, Janice, but I still got guys out there that are I got a guy that's with Lincoln Heritage. And the only reason he doesn't sell Lincoln Heritage anymore is because why would he? He has better rates here. He has he has a better contract level. So that's the only thing I have to do for you guys, for you not to sell any other products, is get you a higher contract level and get you the right resources. And you won't fail me. So I'm okay with it. Like, you're not captive with me. So don't have that fear. But I would like it that if, Janice, you get a team together, that they stick to what I'm training them. Because there's only 4 products, basically, Janice, that I train on. And if they stick to that, we're all going to make more money. Think about this, guys. If we have 1 funnel or 2 funnels that people are pouring money into, it's going to be a better system for overrides in the long run than it would be if they're dumping it into 4 or 5 different products. So let's narrow down what our reps use. Let's train them well on those reps, and let's get the funnel shrunk up for override reasons and make a ton of money into the future too. And that's really
okay. I'm able to move Athene, Mutual of Omaha, and LSW. That won't be a problem. Probably need a guaranteed issue, something. But I was going to ask you this question. Let's talk about leads, if you don't mind, for a second.
Sure.
You got the $3 leads. Let's say an agent just wanted to buy 100 $3 leads, put them with their appointment setter, like I do. What kind of money could he expect out of that, or could she expect out of that?
Really, John, I'm telling you that those leads are like brand new leads. They are. Okay. Well, I shouldn't say like brand new leads. The $47 leads, nothing beats those. I mean, I get into every home. If you buy 100. I'm going to say that at that rate, I mean, you're probably guaranteed to at least sit with 10. I don't know the time you're getting a hold of people and things like that. But at that, I mean, you're making, that's easily, at what, $3,000 a head. I mean, you can do the math, So I'd say for every 100 of those $3 leads, I would probably say that you're going to sit with at least that 10 out of that 100. I don't know, how well they set, John. So at minimum, that's the number. On the top end, though, I have sat with 20 of those 100 and rocked the house. So here's what I do, guys, is I look at the end of the month, because that in this business, I seem to like I have used to look at it weekly, and I started looking at it monthly, and it made more sense for me to say, oh, you know what the hell? So what? I crashed the first 2 weeks, and the next 2 weeks made up for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know. The reason I was asking that, Jason, is because I know that some of my agents, they don't like to do big mailers because you just absolutely don't know what you're going to get in mortgage protection unless you have a really good, reputable lead company. And the $47 leads, I get that. That's about what they cost to generate now, unfortunately. Yeah, because when we did it before, I think it was around 28 to 30 something. And you were with NAA at one time, I think. So they were our biggest competitors, and you know they're basically a lead company now. Yeah. I don't even know if they really sell anything over there. They just sell the leads.
No, right, you're right. They sell products and his training programs, hats and T-shirts, and
yeah. You know what Andy does is what Andy does. But the thing I was thinking about is that an agent can come in and make a $300 commitment and never look back. Because I've told Cornell and Janice, and we've done some seminars with team members. I said, you got to get in a rhythm. You've got to get in the rhythm. And that rhythm is you don't stop, because when you stop, you got to start all over and you get rusty.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so if these guys could easily afford $200 or $300 in leads and then take one sale and put it back, because one sale would easily cover, and just keep those leads coming, they'll never have to look back. And that's the reason I was going to ask you about the $3 leads, because obviously 100 leads with 10 sets is $30 average versus, and if it's 20, it's 15. So that's pretty good. And so,
you know, what me to do, John, was say I spoke about you guys, and I said there's a, and I don't know the size of the team yet or whatever, guys. I haven't gotten into that with you guys, but to me it didn't matter. It was you three that I wanted to work with, because I knew from this I could grow an organization. I know what I'm capable of, and I can tell you in 2018, most of you could be out of the field if you let me do what I do. So at the end of this story, what I like to see is you three out of the field in a position like mine, and just kind of trading off the training seminars and meeting me halfway, and just doing some of this work that I do when it comes to training, because I don't think there's anything more valuable than the training to the reps. I'm blessed by the fact I get to help people make money, then they're helping people make money. It's like crazy to me. So in all due respect, though, the company that I work with, the IMO, the NMO, and the IMO, have requested that I get you guys tied in, like, recruited to 3 different carriers for me to give you the 3 leads. So that's part of
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that, because I know we do need an annuity carrier, and unless somebody has other than Athene's a fine company. It used to be Aviva. It's a great company.
It is.
Mutual of Omaha, that's top notch in its name recognition. Not the cheapest carrier, but a real solid carrier, and good underwriting too. They're usually pretty fast on their underwriting.
Give me 1 second, John. What other rated one you sell? We have something else that's rated, not CFG, but what the hell was it? Well, yeah, John, there's also. Oh, we have Settlers too.
Okay, Settlers Settlers. I can move my Settlers contract. Kemper's a guaranteed issue. You have Kemper?
Kemper.
The company has it, but we don't.
Yeah, we have it.
Yeah, that's a guaranteed issue product.
So if you guys tied into those, then that's fine. 3 or 4 carriers per agent, not captive.
Yeah, that's fine.
You know what I'm saying? And
yeah, that's fine with me. I mean, that's fine with me.
That sounds great. It sounds great for me as well.
Okay, so I will have my first training with you guys if you want. I mean, you can be on it anyway. It's an option. I highly recommend it for everybody. But it'll be on Saturday at 9 a.m. and I'll send you that link again, guys. Now, Cornell, are you okay? I've heard everybody else has agreed, but Cornell is the silent killer, man. He kills you with silence. So I want to know what he's thinking about.
I just want to see your overall system. I understand training, I understand all your resources, and you're bringing things from here, there. I understand you're going to give us training. What else? Is there anything else that you're offering?
Yeah, what I do, Cornell, is for the groups that you have, I fly out of state for you too. And sometimes I even fund it. So meaning that if I find a hotel room and you have enough people for us to put in a room, then I will spend 1 to 3 days in that state, in your area with you at a hotel room, investing my time into training your people on what subjects need handled. That would have to come from you. Where is your failures? How can we make them successes? Things like that. So over the years that we spend together, that'll be a part of my offer to you too, along with all open honesty too. I don't have to lie my way through this gig, guys. Contract levels, things like that, they mean a lot to us, and I can only grow my contract levels with you. So as I go up in contract level, just know that I'm not the guy that goes up 5-10 points and doesn't carry you with me. You, okay? So my spread's on your people. You do what you want with them on your own. I will help you organize a business that makes money as I have learned how to do. And if it helps, I'm asking for strategies too. Like I'm trying to learn this Kaizen. So I'm asking for a trade-off in relationships and education. All I sit on is the resources that you need. After 10 years of seeking out resources, companies, carriers, I found it. I was just happened to be the guy that found it for us. So if you guys can help me grow from this, then Cornell, I'm willing to sacrifice whatever the hell you need is what I can. So Cornell comes to me and you have something that you need, then I go to work to go get it. And if I can't, Cornell, I'm just going to send you to the upline and I'm going to tell you to go ask them for it. You know what I mean? So I don't hide the upline from you guys either. You guys can have all contact to them too. So. And
how long have you been in the insurance industry for? 10 years?
Yeah.
10 years. What were you doing before the 10 years?
Well, just like Brian owns a company that does fitness boot camps. I own personal training studios, several of them. Made a lot of money. And then a car accident took me out, Cornell, and then 2 years later I found this. With American Income Life was my first company.
Gotcha. Now, I guess initially we were talking about Index Universal.
Yeah.
So you use a lot of your mortgage protection leads to convert them to Index Universal?
I don't really have to convert them, Cornell. I don't know if that's the word, but I present that opportunity to them. Because when I'm able to show because I bring the illustration with me, Cornell, like I print it out before I go, and I show them the illustrations. I'll bring out 3. One will be the top end to pay the mortgage off. One's the middle end that they pay half of the mortgage off. And then one's the low end, which is the back end of the mortgage, which might be like $25,000 left on it. So I'll bring 3 options with me. And once I show them the cash values and life benefits, it usually sells itself, brother. Mm-hmm. But and believe me, I'd rather sell final expense though, because I get paid a lot faster. That's why I kind of mix it up, Cornell. I still buy final expense leads. And if it's part of the day, like I might have 2 mortgage protection leads and I might have 2 final expense people to see that day. You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm just smart enough.
That's the way we do it here. I'm mainly, I do medical as well. So, I got several divisions that we operate, and the IULs is mainly what I was more focused on than anything else.
Got it.
Because I think, with everything I do have, I got everything in place. But I like what I'm hearing with the other. I don't have a problem with I think Settlers, and I think it was another company you brought up. Mutual of Omaha, I've already got 2 companies that I'm contracted with right now. I cannot move my final expense without a release, and he's not going to release me. So Settlers I can definitely do, and Kemper I can do.
John, is the GUL at Mutual of Omaha, is that connected to his final expense contract?
No. I have another contract, but I'm talking about that's the only one that from what I understand with Mutual of Omaha, you can have multiple ID numbers. So I probably can do another contract with them under you, and have a contract with Mutual of Omaha. Kemper and Settlers, I can actually do, because I don't have a contract with any of those companies.
Okay, great. Now, what I would like to do, if you guys are okay with it, is as an introduction to training. If you guys can get your team together this Saturday, if it's okay with all you, at 9 a.m., if you can get your team members on to the training, and I won't let you down. I mean, I think you guys get a hint that I can do it and pull that off, and I know what I'm talking about. And I'll do an in-home presentation sale from final expense and mortgage protection all the way to the annuity. So if they got 2 hours, which Brian knows it's sometimes lasts, but I'm going to tell you something. I got people that they don't want to get off of it. And 2 hours into it, people are still asking me questions. I keep it exciting, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the boring trainer. I pull out the whiteboard. I keep it revved up and pumped, man.
I'm with you. Well, to me personally, I think this sounds, and Janice and Cornell will have to make their own decisions, but I do know that the Kaizen is a little bit tougher sale. It's a long sale, and it's just, let me tell you what one of my mentors told me many, many years ago, and I think it's so true. He said, if you sell to the classes, you'll be one of the masses. But you sell to the masses, you'll dine with the classes. And I think that's true, because you're going to sell a whole lot more LSW at $400 or $500 a month than you will the $40,000 case. As you know, I mean, you've seen how many homeowners versus that one business owner that could easily afford it. So the thing that I want to reiterate to the agents is that where else can you take a $3 lead and potentially walk away with $1,000 a month IUL sale?
That's a great way to put it.
I mean, it just doesn't happen. You make one of those sales a month, and you're making good money. Right. So what I want to do with the guys is say, explain that this is a quote unquote mortgage protection, but the upside potential here is that it potentially becomes an IUL sale first, traditional mortgage protection term sale second. So I think that's where the genius of this program that you put together kind of lies, is that, and I can tell you, I have not been able to do what you're doing. I'm going to be quite frank with you. I have not been able to do that. I am a mortgage protection guy, but I've always gone in. The only thing I ever came close to doing it was I used to sell a lot of ROP. But you know, I never knew how to make that transition to an IUL sale. Now, I have made IUL sales as mortgage protection, but it was a much tougher transition. So I'm looking forward to learning how to make that presentation off the top, and then coming in the bottom end. If I lose the IUL sale, I'm still going to walk out with a great mortgage protection.
Well, your genius, John, is that you are still, you've been in the business so long, and he's still, listen to this, guys. This guy's still open to learning, and he doesn't. You know, that's just like how you have to be in this. And there was times I didn't want, and when I first started in the industry, I don't want to take advice from people at all. I sold a lot of personal training, man, millions of dollars in this stuff. And I thought I was a hotshot salesman, and I got in this business, and my failures were me, basically. So get out of your own way and make sure that you're always willing to learn something new. And if you already know it, take it in again, because you're going to find hints from me every week. You're going to find something new that I bring to the table. It may be a word that I said. It may be the sentence I rearranged. And it may be within the actions. I tell people, I tap Mrs. Jones on her wrist sometimes when she's sitting next to me, just to make that connection physically, so she knows I'm human to human. And these small little traits that I give in strategies and techniques are working for others, period. So you guys will get some great systems out of me, and I want to applaud you guys for dealing with the time that is taken to get to this point. But sometimes the best people I've ever hired, John, has taken me months to get. You know what I
mean? Yeah, I got you. Well, we're as far as I think we're all on the same page, unless there's some concern that hasn't been expressed.
Well, Cornell wants to see the system, which, and implying that is this, is that there's only so much of the system I can show until you guys are on board. The only way I can provide you with the system, Cornell, is providing you with the truth through my sales trainings, which is like what I go through in the field. So it's what I run into usually, and it's presented to you every Saturday morning and then usually Wednesday evenings. So that's all I can do for you now, boss. But, you know, I'm hoping with a little faith that you'll take in the language that I'm using, the words that I'm using, and understand that I know how to make these sales. John will be out there selling index products. Cornell, you'll trade it up. I bet you trade it up for index products. And Janet, too. I don't see any other way around beating what an index product does for somebody if funded correctly. And it's important that you guys realize funded correctly. I just ran into yesterday.
Right.
Came out and another rep came out there and showed them that the cost of insurance would end the product at age 91. The woman forgot that I also sold her a $140,000 annuity. So what I have her doing is at the end of the year, she's going to take the points that she's earned in the annuity to overfund the product. So her annuity, her index life policy stays in play until age 120 or when she dies. This woman's going to die before age 90.
Right. That sounds great.
Yeah. So those little tricks of the trade you'll get, and then you guys are going to learn how to sell annuities. Nobody sells more than I do when it comes to annuities. I don't know if it's what I say or what the hell I do.
I thought about you, Jason. I'm sorry. I thought about you because there was a gentleman that got in contact with me on LinkedIn about his annuity. He makes like $125 million a year or something like that. Or he's done that I think in like 10 years or something like that.
Right.
But I was interested in his system. His system is like $900 a month.
Yeah. Okay. So
I was like, okay.
I need to meet this guy. So, you know, I'm doing it wrong then. That's what it's telling me. So I'm doing this stuff for free though, guys. And if you can find somebody that you know that can prove that they can sell 2 to 4 annuities a month, then you let me know. But that's interesting. That's a lot of